Hello everyone, today we'll be making Dragon Dear amigurumi, and before starting each part in the video, a page will appear which will have the written pattern, and if you're interested in that only, you can just skip to the timing of the written pattern in the description, and then we will start the video afterward. So let's get started with the video.